Hello everyone, welcome to Basic English Grammar course. Today we are going to learn about pronouns or kata ganti in bahasa Indonesia. Let's start with subject and object pronouns. Or you can simply call them with kata ganti subjek and objek. English subject and object pronouns apply the same basic rules as the ones in Indonesia. Do you still remember the pattern of SPO or SPO? Subjek, predikat, objek? Yes, subject comes before verb or predicate. Jadi kata ganti itu ada sebelum kata kerja atau dituliskan sebelum kata kerja. Sedangkan objek itu dituliskan setelah kata kerja. Or you can say object comes after verb. Then what makes English subject and object pronouns different than kata ganti subjek and objek in Indonesia? Well, it's about the form. In Indonesia, you can use saya either as subject like in saya berbicara pada siswa, or as object like in siswa mendengarkan saya. The word saya doesn't change, right? It remains the same even you use it as subject or object. Kan tidak berubah dia. Mau dia digunakan sebagai objek dalam kalimat siswa mendengarkan saya, sayanya di belakang, ataupun digunakan sebagai subjek ketika saya berbicara pada siswa, itu sama kan? Sayanya nggak berubah menjadi sayas, apalagi sayang, nggak kan? Tetap. Nah, but it doesn't apply in English. The word saya in Indonesia turns into I when it's used as the subject. Example, I talk to the students. I is the subject. Then when you use it as the object, you turned I into me. Example, the students listen to me. You cannot apply the same rules as in Indonesia where you can use I for both as subject and object. Ya kan? Nggak bisa. Masa iya, I talk to the students. Kemudian ketika dia difungsikan sebagai objek, the students listen to I. No, no, no. It's totally wrong. Nggak bisa ya kayak gitu ya. Jadi kalau dia maksudnya atau difungsikan sebagai objek, ya tolong gunakan me, bukan I. Kalau dia berfungsinya sebagai subjek, gunakan I, jangan me. Jangan nanti bilangnya me eat, jangan ya, I eat gitu. Me nya kan bukan subjek, itu maksud saya. Okay, now do you see the difference? Okay, let's continue to another pronoun. When you want to refer to more than two people or mereka in English, you can use they for the subject and them for the object. See the example on the slide. The word they in the sentence, they jump high. Kata they ya, itu refers to Celine, Dion, and Boy. Jadi kata they itu maksudnya atau merujuk pada subjek yang bernama Celine, Dion, dan Boy. Jadi they ini menggantikan Celine, Dion, dan Boy yang artinya mereka, biar nggak berulang-ulang lagi dipakai di kalimat berikutnya. Tuh, masa seluruh kalimat nanti semuanya dimulai dengan Celine, Dion, and Boy are happy, Celine, Dion, and Boy jump high, Celine, Dion, and Boy eat seafood, dan lain-lain, kan nggak bagus gitu. Makanya kita gunakan kata ganti. Ini fungsinya, dan khusus untuk subjek yang lebih dari dua orang kita gunakan they ya. Dan let's say for example, if you want to tell other people that kami menyayangi mereka, pastinya kalian tidak akan mengatakan atau kalian bilang we love they kan? Nah nggak? Iya, because they cannot be used as object. As I said before, use them for the object. That's why the correct sentence is we love them. Not we love they, but we love them. Okay. Next, if you want to say kami or kita in English, you can use we as the subject, like in we love together. Kami ketawa bersama. And us as the object, like in teachers love us. Nah, di sini us-nya itu merupakan bentuk objek dari we. Jangan nanti dibalik ya. Misalnya nanti kalian bikinnya teachers love we seperti tadi, nggak bisa. Kalau dia fungsinya sebagai subjek ya jangan dipakai lagi di objek. Just use it for subject. If it functions as object, use it as object. Do not shift it or exchange it. Okay? And then what about dia? Actually, we have she, her, he, and him to say dia in English. Okay, she and her are the pronouns used to say dia for female, untuk perempuan ya. You use those to refer to a girl, lady, or woman. Jadi kalau ada nama cewek, nama perempuan itu maksud saya, yang berhubungan dengan perempuan, itu nanti kata gantinya adalah she dan her. She is used as the subject or subject. Take a look at the sentence on the slide. Mooncake is pretty. She is a balliness. The word she in the sentence, she is a balliness, refers to mooncake. Jadi kata she di kalimat she is balliness itu maksudnya adalah merujuk pada si cewek yang namanya mooncake. Tuh. Okay. Then, as you can see on another example, another sentence, everyone likes her. Nah, her ini still refers to mooncake, but her is used as the object. Tuh. Kan nggak mungkin nanti kalian bilangnya everyone likes she. No. Remember, she is subject. You cannot put she as the object now. And then we use he and him to say dia for male or laki-laki. So you use those two, he and him, to refer to a boy, a man, lord. Okay? He is used as the subject. Take a look at the sentence on the slide. Gledog is from Gianyar. Gledog ini nama orang ya, nama cowok. He is handsome. The word he in the sentence he is handsome refers to Gledog. Jadi kata he di kalimat he is handsome itu merujuk pada laki-laki yang namanya Gledog. And on another sentence you can see a sentence, girls like him. Who is him? Yeah, him refers to Gledog. Jadi masih dia maksudnya him itu adalah si Gledog itu sendiri, but it's used as the object. Nggak mungkin nanti girls like he. That's wrong ya. Okay. Unlike the previous pronouns, it and you don't change its form when it's used as the object pronouns, meaning that those two can be used both as subject and object pronouns. Jadi dia tidak berubah sama sekali bentuknya, baik ketika digunakan sebagai kata ganti subjek ataupun objek ya. Okay, for it is used for singular thing, animal, plant, and etc. Jadi fungsinya itu untuk merujuk atau menggantikan kata benda tunggal, baik itu hewan, tumbuhan, atau objek-objek lainnya yang penting jumlahnya satu ya. Look at the sentence on the slide. Lihat contohnya ya. Rhino is a wild animal. It's gray and big. Jadi kalau ditanya, it itu maksudnya apa? Siapa yang dimaksud oleh it? It refers to the rhino. Jadi dia ada fungsinya sebagai subjek di sini, dia menggantikan kata rhino. Tuh. Dan in the sentence people hunted it still refers to the rhino. Kata it itu masih yang dimaksudkan adalah si rhino itu sendiri. Orang-orang memburunya, gitu ya. Nyanyinya siapa? Nyanyi ini siapa? Ya si rhino, si badak. Gitu. Tapi it-nya ini difungsikan sebagai atau berfungsi sebagai objek dan letaknya di belakang. Does it change the form? No, the form still the same. Whether it's used as subject or object, they are the same. Okay, and then last but not least, you can use you to say kamu or kalian in English. As you can see, examples on slide, whether used as the subject or object, the word you doesn't change at all. Coba lihat kalimatnya. Kalau yang pertama itu you-nya sebagai subjek, you complete me. Kemudian kalimat yang kedua, you-nya sebagai objek, I miss you. Does it change? No, they don't change. Mau you-nya di awal, mau you-nya di akhir, dia nggak berubah sama sekali. Tetap nggak menjadi yul, nggak menjadi yun atau apa yuni, nggak. Tetap dia sama. Okay? Well, that's for subject and object pronouns. If you have any question, you can share it into the comment section below, or you can deliver it to our discussion. And then to check your understanding, please do exercise 1. Question number 1 to 5. Take a look for seconds. Well, let's continue to our second topic. It's about possessive adjective pronouns and possessive pronouns, or kata ganti kepemilikan in bahasa Indonesia. Then what makes possessive adjective pronouns and possessive pronouns different? Okay, first, it's about its use. Possessive adjective pronouns used to describe your ownership toward the noun. In this case, pronouns are followed by nouns. Apa sih maksudnya? See the examples on the slide first. I have a lion. Saya memiliki seekor singa. My lion is big and wild. Singa saya besar dan ganas, liar. Ya. Kata my itu merujuk atau menunjukkan kepemilikan dari subjek, yaitu I. Dalam hal ini, kata my itu yang sudah saya garis bawahi diikuti oleh kata benda, yaitu lion. Itu ya. Meanwhile, in possessive pronoun, if subject to, okay, let's call this woman as subject to and this man as subject one. If subject to has the same thing or belonging as subject one, jadi ketika subjek dua itu memiliki benda yang sama dengan subjek pertama atau orang pertama, we don't need to retell or explain the noun, karena kata gantinya itu sudah langsung bermakna atau menandakan hal yang sama gitu ya. Example, she has a lion, hers is old. Lionnya nggak disebutin lagi kayak di yang awal, karena kita tahu oh si cowok punya singa, singanya dia besar dan ganas, buas. Sedangkan kalau si cewek dia juga punya lion tapi singanya udah tua. Nah di sini kita nggak nyebut lagi singanya itu, sudah hers itu sudah menunjukkan bahwa si si pembaca itu pasti tahu maksudnya bahwa si perempuan ini memiliki benda yang sama, singa ya, tapi singanya tua gitu ya. Tuh. Jadi hers ini tidak diikuti oleh kata benda karena pembaca itu sudah asumsikan, sudah tahu kalau si wanita memiliki awal yang sama dengan si subjek pertama itu ya. Jadi tidak perlu sebutkan lagi, itu lebih jelasnya. And then unlike in bahasa Indonesia that can simply use milik saya, milikmu, milik mereka. In English, each subject pronouns have their own possessive adjective pronouns and possessive pronouns. Check the table on the slide to learn the details. This one, ya. Yang paling kiri itu adalah subjeknya. I, you, they, we, she, it. Tuh. Kemudian di tengah itu adalah perubahannya dalam bentuk possessive adjective pronouns. Jadi I-nya menjadi my. Ya, I have a book on the table. Oh, my book is on the table. You have a pen on the table. Your pen is on the table. They have a pencil on the table. Their pencil. We have a wallet on the refrigerator. Our wallet. He has a towel in the bathroom. His towel. She has a toothbrush in the bathroom. Her toothbrush. She menjadi her. Ya. There's a car in the garage. Its color, it's black. Car itu kata ganti kepemilikannya, kepunyaannya menjadi its, gitu ya. Sementara kalau di possessive pronouns, tuh, my book is on the table, itu menjadi mine is on the table. Booknya hilang. Your pen is on the table. Yours is on the table. Hilang pennya. Their pencil is on the table. Theirs is on the table. Our wallet is on the refrigerator. Ours is on the refrigerator. His towel is in the bathroom. His is in the bathroom. Her toothbrush is in the bathroom. Hers is in the bathroom. Toothbrushnya hilang. Its color is black. Its is black. Okay? Seperti itu ya. To check your understanding, please do exercise 2 from number 1 to 7. And then the last topic for today's lesson is demonstrative pronouns. This pronoun is used to point to a thing or things. In bahasa Indonesia, this pronouns used to say ini dan itu. Ya, dalam bahasa Indonesia ya, artinya ini, itu. Pasti tahu ya kata apa saja yang berarti ini dan itu. Yes, we have this, that, and those. Yeah. Okay, let's say the first one. We have this and these to say ini. Ya. Jadi kalau pengen bilang ini dalam bahasa Inggris, kalian bisa gunakan dua kata itu. This atau this yang kedua. Yang pakai ESA itu dibaca these. Nah, this is used to point a single thing atau satu benda that is near or close to the speaker, yang dekat dengan si pembicara. Jadi ketika benda itu posisinya dekat atau mungkin dalam genggaman, posisinya nggak jauh-jauh amat dengan si pembicara, kita gunakan this. Misalkan bendanya satu, ya. You can see on example. This is an umbrella. Lihat, antara tangan dengan payung, jaraknya gimana? Dekat kan? Nah, but if we would like to point out more than one thing, or you can say plural thing, or lebih dari satu benda alias banyak benda yang berada di dekat si pembicara, we use these. Look at the picture. Look at the hand that is pointing to 3 umbrellas. Karena ada lebih dari satu payung, kita pakai these. And then you would like to say these are umbrellas. So ya, these are umbrellas. Pakai S umbrellanya. Oh. Okay. And then what about if the thing is far from the speaker? You can use that and those yang bermakna itu dalam bahasa Indonesia. And then what is the difference between that and those? That is used to point a singular thing, satu benda, that is far from the speaker. Jadi letaknya atau posisinya itu jauh dengan si pembicara. Look at the example and also the picture. The hand is pointing out the umbrella. But look at the umbrella. It's not as close as the picture on the left. Ya kan? Ada jarak sekian meter mungkin, misalnya sekian senti kalau misalnya dalam gambar ini ya. Oh, itu payung gitu ya. Itu payung, itu kan nggak dekat-dekat amat, nggak berada dalam genggamannya. So, one thing. And then we use those to point out plural things. Lebih dari satu benda atau banyak. Tapi masih sama ya, jauh letaknya dengan si pembicara. Jadi kalau kita pengen nyebutin atau menunjukkan benda yang posisinya jauh dengan kita, letaknya jauh dengan kita, tapi bendanya banyak, kita pakai those, bukan that. Ya. Example, look at the picture. Below or under that, ya. Itu the hand is pointing to 3 umbrellas, and then there's a distance. Sekian, jarak sekian ya, sekian. Nggak dekat-dekat amat. Tuh, dan you can make sentence, those are umbrellas. Those are umbrellas. Jangan dibaca those ya. Those are umbrellas. Seperti itu. Paham ya? Jadi kalau itu untuk menyebutkan atau menunjukkan benda jamak, kalian pakai those. Kalau satu pakai that. Dengan catatan bendanya jauh dari kita sebagai pembicara. Kalau dekat nanti pakai this. Kalau bendanya satu. Kalau bendanya lebih dari satu pakai these. Okay? I think that's all for today's lesson. And then for demonstrative pronoun, I would like to check your understanding about demonstrative pronoun. Please do exercise 3. Question 1 to 8. Okay? You write the answer on a piece of paper, and then you submit your work to Google Classroom on the provided section. Okay? If you have any comment or you have something to ask, question maybe, you can drop your question on the comment section. Okay, thank you for your attention. I'll see you on the next lesson. Thank you.